But we begin with the race for the White House. The candidates are tearing through the battleground states in the final stretch. Vice President Harris hitting 3 today: North Carolina, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Former President Trump also hitting North Carolina and Wisconsin today.
Harris delivered a closing argument speech at the Ellipse near the White House last night. That is, of course, where Donald Trump gave his speech on January 6, 2020. Tens of thousands in the crowd. Donald Trump defended his Madison Square Garden rally, calling the event a love fest. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce starts us off with the highlights of the vice president's speech. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Georgia. This was quite a scene last night. Kamala Harris making her final pitch before a crowd of 75,000, according to her campaign. And she framed this election as a fundamental choice, arguing Trump will bring more chaos and division. And Harris made an appeal to unity, urging Americans to stop pointing fingers and start holding arms.
Good evening, America!
Overnight, Vice President Kamala Harris making her closing argument before her largest crowd yet.
This election is more than just a choice between two parties and two different candidates. It is a choice about whether we have a country rooted in freedom for every American or ruled by chaos and division.
The location, no accident. Harris speaking at the exact same site where Donald Trump addressed his supporters before they attacked the Capitol on January 6th.
We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
Harris laying out the events of that day to argue Trump can't be trusted to hold office again.
Donald Trump intends to use the United States military against American citizens who simply disagree with him. People he calls, quote, the enemy from within. America, this is not a candidate for president who is thinking about how to make your life better. This is someone who is unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance, and out for unchecked power.
The vice president promising to take the country in a new direction.
America, for too long, we have been consumed with too much division, chaos, and mutual distrust. And it can be easy then to forget a simple truth. It doesn't have to be this way.
From codifying abortion rights to tackling housing costs and high grocery prices, Harris arguing her economic plan would better serve working Americans.
I will deliver tax cuts to working people and the middle class. I will make sure you have a chance not just to get by, but to get ahead.
Well aware that she still has to convince skeptical voters, Harris tackling head-on one of her greatest vulnerabilities, immigration.
And when I am president, we will quickly remove those who arrive here unlawfully, prosecute the cartels, and give Border Patrol the support they so desperately need. At the same time, we must acknowledge we are a nation of immigrants. And I will work with Congress to pass immigration reform.
Harris pledging to be a president for all Americans.
Unlike Donald Trump, I don't believe people who disagree with me are the enemy. He wants to put them in jail. I'll give them a seat at the table. I pledge to you to approach my work with the joy and optimism that comes from making a difference in people's lives. And I pledge to be a president for all Americans. And to always put country above party and self.
Harris will now take this message on the road as she crisscrosses the key states in this final sprint, today hitting 3 of them: Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Wisconsin. Michael.
Yeah, you said it, a sprint, Mary. Thank you so much for that.